Hey everybody, it's the 13th Wolfman. Today's day 23 of the 31 days of Halloween. Yeah, 31 days of Halloween is a fun thing that I do every year. I do 31 movies in 31 days. Right now, of course, I'm on day 23, and on day 23 I'm going to talk to you about a little movie that came out around 2007 called The Strangers. Scott Speedman, Liv Tyler. Man, I just completely blanked on her last name for a second there. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman. They're a couple that after a wedding reception, they come back to Scott Speedman's family house out in the woods. I guess I wouldn't really say out in the woods, but it's very secluded. And they're not as joyous as they were when they were at the wedding reception. You know, it looks like they never really get into the finer details of it, but it looks like Scott Speedman said, "Hey, will you marry me?" And she said, "No." And from that point on, you know, things are already on rocky ground. He's like, "Well, you know, I'm gonna go for a drive." And while he goes for a drive, she starts getting harassed by people. I mean, just three people. One in a baby doll mask, one in a girly mask, and one with like a burlap sack over his head. And it's a very cool idea because it's very nerve-wracking. I remember seeing this in the movies, or in the theater, I remember seeing this in the theater, and the tension is it's there from minute one to the very last second, and you're just kind of like all broiled up and going, what's going to happen? Now, the funny thing was, when I watched this, you know, for the 31 days, I noticed that for some reason in my mind, and I swear to God, in my mind, I'm losing my mind, but in my mind, I remembered that the majority of this movie took place indoors, you know, in the house. But for some reason, after watching it, I'm like, wow, they spent a lot more time outside than I remember. But yeah, this movie is just a real suspenseful tension. You know, it's just all your stomach's in a knot for like an hour and a half, just wondering what's going to happen to this couple, and whether or not, you know, who's going to make it out alive, if anyone makes it out alive. It's a very cool movie. I've been waiting for a sequel for about 10 years now. I mean, ever since this movie ended, I've always thought this would be a cool movie to have kind of like a sequel to. I don't know how you would do the sequel, but it's just something I've always felt deserved a sequel. And it's well written, well put together. But it's lit in certain ways that things just kind of look a little creepier than you would think. And yeah, so I definitely would give this movie, you know, a definite watch if you haven't seen it. Some people might think it looks a little stylized, a little glossy, a little mainstream, you know. Dude, there's nothing wrong with mainstream horror, no matter what other people say. You know, it's a fun film. It's, like I said, the tension's there. You just have to just deal with it. You know, I love Liv Tyler. I haven't seen her in something like this since this movie, and she's just a great actress that I think can pull this kind of part off. Scott Speedman, I mean, he's been in some stuff, but he kind of disappeared and fell off the main map after a while. You know, so yeah, that's day 23 of the 31 days of Halloween. Like, subscribe, share, comment. With that, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and I'm on the prowl.